Imagine being the only dude in the world who Zlatan is afraid of. Whoa! Scary fights and even threatening to end a dude's career. These are 8 footballers that hate Zlatan. And first up, Zlatan's beef with a former teammate made him public enemy number 1. Back in the early 2000s, Rafael van der Vaart was the star at Ajax. He was so good that the fans had already started calling him the next Johan Cruyff. It seemed like he would carry the team for years, but a few weeks on, Ajax decided to splash the cash on a talented Swede they thought would be the next big thing in football. Yeah, this dude was Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Once Zlatan arrived, he immediately started commanding the respect of the entire locker room. And for Van der Vaart, he wasn't used to that, and the battle of egos started. They did manage to keep the beef aside for a couple of months, and from the outside, it looked like Zlatan and Van der Vaart were getting along. But pretty soon, they couldn't hold it in any longer, and the chaos erupted. This time, they were on national team duty and came up against each other, Sweden versus the Netherlands. Zlatan was driving with the ball toward the box, and once he got to the penalty area, he had only one thing on his mind: to blast it into the net. And anyone who stood in his way, well, he was prepared to take them out, even if they were his teammates. Sweden scored, but Zlatan damaged Van der Vaart's ankles. He wasn't too happy about this one, and came out to say Zlatan did this on purpose. Zlatan was pissed when he heard this, and his response was brutal. "I don't like you. I don't like you as captain. I didn't injure you on purpose, and you know it." Whoa! After this, I'm pretty sure Zlatan and Van der Vaart won't be going on holiday together anytime soon. Zlatan later left the club, went to Juve, and developed a bad guy reputation that made him square off against this next dude. And this one was instant karma. Zlatan and Marco Materazzi squaring off against each other? Zlatan doesn't back down from a challenge, and neither does Materazzi. And in case you're wondering who this dude is, well, yeah, he was on the receiving end of that Zlatan headbutt. This time, it was in 2006, and Zlatan's Juve team was up against Inter, and Materazzi had the special task of trying to keep Zlatan quiet all night. It wasn't going to be easy. I mean, he's one big dude, so Materazzi figured the best thing to do was to take him out permanently. Kinda feels like this one was karma for what Zlatan did to Van der Vaart years back, because this tackle ended Zlatan's game. But he wasn't going to let this one go easily, and 4 years later, Zlatan got his revenge by sending Materazzi to the hospital. Damn his balls! Zlatan was feeling himself, and later admitted that he did this on purpose just to get revenge. But Materazzi was determined to get the last laugh, so he uploaded a photo of Inter Milan winning the treble on social media, and the caption was a letter bomb. "I came, I saw, I conquered. Always and in any case, thank you, Ibrahimovic. Without you, we would never have won." Ouch! This one was a war of words. But just a couple of months later, Zlatan finally met his match, and this guy literally had him fighting for his life. Onyewu doesn't look like your average center back, and that's because he isn't. The dude is built like a tank and looks like a heavyweight boxer. Players were scared of him. But if there was one dude who wouldn't back down from a fight with Onyewu, you'd probably have guessed it by now. It was Zlatan. The crazy part is, they were teammates. And according to Zlatan, here's how this one went down. Zlatan didn't like how aggressive Onyewu was towards him in training, so he had a pretty strong word with him about it. But Onyewu wasn't going to back down, so he did the unthinkable. He shushed Zlatan. Zlatan was pissed, and by the next time Onyewu got the ball, Zlatan flew into the tackle with his studs flying up. He missed, but what happened next was pure chaos. I headbutted him, and we flew at each other. We wanted to tear each other from limb to limb. It was brutal. After the fight, Zlatan realized he suffered a broken rib, but didn't want to tell anyone about it. Onyewu, the first guy to injure Zlatan, a legend. Zlatan doesn't just do the fighting with his fist, he's also a decent trash talker. And if you let him have a go, he'll get you on your nerves real quick. Just ask Lukaku. October 2020, the Milan Derby, and this edition was bound to be an epic. On the stroke of halftime, Lukaku wasn't too happy about a shoulder barge from the Milan defender Romagnoli, and he decided to complain to the ref about it. But Zlatan's the ultimate troll, and once he heard Lukaku's complaints, he told him to pipe down. But Lukaku was in the mood for a brawl, and that's when he asked him, "And what will you do if I don't?" Zlatan's response? "I'm going to break every bone in your body if you open your mouth." That was enough to start a fight. Zlatan was even gesturing to Lukaku to meet him in the tunnel. The guys were ready to tear into each other. If I'm being honest, Zlatan went too far, because according to the footage released later, he told Lukaku to tell his mom to cast a voodoo spell for him. Now that's personal, over the line. This ain't the first time too. See, back in 2018, he was doing the same thing to another guy in the MLS. This time, Zlatan was playing for LA Galaxy when they faced Real Salt Lake, and Zlatan's target was Onyewu. 60 minutes gone, and the game was getting heated. And when Zlatan realized Onyewu was getting the better of him, he started with the threats. "I'm going to do you. Watch the clock. I'm going to do you." Zlatan did manage to score the winning goal in the game, but Onyewu was really pissed about the stuff Zlatan said. He refused to accept Zlatan's apology, meaning it must have gotten to him. Zlatan's reputation speaks for itself, and I guess if you're a defender facing him, you don't have to wait for him to do you dirty. You strike first. But don't take it from me, ask Tyrone Mings. Mings stamped the head of the beat and acted like nothing happened. The ball's on this guy. Zlatan and Mings went at it all match. I mean, the FA got involved, with Mings getting a 5-game ban and Zlatan only receiving 3. But Mings had made his mark. Zlatan wasn't going to get one over him. At this point, it's pretty clear Zlatan always wants to be at the center of the conversation. He even had something to say about one half of the GOATs that left everyone stunned. When Cristiano Ronaldo played at United, Rooney did all the work, but Cristiano took all the glory as he was the one getting the goals. Rooney ran, fought, and made far more of a team sacrifice than the player from Madeira. Let me get this straight. So Ronaldo does an interview with Piers Morgan, makes it clear he's got issues with Rooney, and then Zlatan comes out to say this? Yeah, I'm definitely sure he isn't a Ronaldo fan. And on Ronaldo's part, he just ignored him. Zlatan even went as far as saying Ronaldo wasn't telling the truth about his move from United in January, and that one day, the real truth would come out. Yeah, seems like this dude has issues with minding his business, and Ronaldo doesn't have time for that. Maybe Zlatan's still upset about Ronaldo scoring a hat-trick to knock him and Sweden out of the World Cup qualifying match at their best shot in 2013. But listen, Zlatan's a lucky dude, and his trash-talking has put him in some difficult situations over the years. But the one in 2003 with his former teammate almost killed him. Zlatan and his Ajax teammate Mito were involved in a defeat to rivals PSV, when Mito accused his teammates of being weaklings and not passing the ball. But even though he was still young at the time, Zlatan wasn't going to let anyone disrespect him like that. And that's when he told Mito that if anyone was being a weakling, it was him. And in a flash, Mito's reaction was to throw a pair of scissors that whizzed past his face with inches and made a crack on the wall. That was how close Zlatan was to almost getting killed. Lucky for him, he survived that. And even though he's one of the game's bad guys, still gotta admit, he makes being bad look good sometimes. And he watches our channel too, the Swedish God.